Today you join me sat in my son's Polestar 2 and I really like this car. Apart from the fact that it's a 408 brake horsepower four-wheel drive car, it's also just a really nice build. I mean, I've got the full glass roof, I've got lovely supportive seats, Harman Kardon stereo. The only thing I don't like is the Google operating system, but even so, it's better in this than it is in the Volvo, or my experience anyway. But the one thing it doesn't have is cameras. In my Tesla, I have a front-facing camera, so a dash cam recording everything at all times. I've got a rear camera, I've got side cameras. This has none. I mean, it's got adaptive cruise control, so it's definitely paying attention to the road, but as a driver, it's not recording anything should you be involved in an accident. So today, we're going to fix this because I'm going to install this. This is a Mercylion inbuilt camera. Now, what that means is I'm going to pop the surround off from around my rear view mirror and put this on instead, so it looks the same, but there's a 4K dash cam built in, and it takes a power feed from the actual mirror itself, so therefore you don't have to add any wiring or hide it anywhere. They're brilliant. So stay with me, I'll show you the full installation and how it works. Okay, so when you open the box, the first thing you're greeted with is the user manual. So as you can also see in there, you've got a little micro SD card. So what that means is that while it's shooting, it will actually record the footage onto a removable card. So at any point, you can take it out of the car, plug it into your computer and download any footage there. And then inside the box itself, you can see we have the unit itself. So let's have a look outside and get it out of the bag. Okay, so what you've got here is the camera on the front, so you can see that nice and clearly. But then you've got a series of clips. So what this is going to do is clip over on top of the plastic surround that's there at the moment. And I'll show you that in a minute. And this is going to be our power feed. So this will allow us to take a power feed directly from the rear view mirror. And inside the rest of the box, you have a tool for taking things apart. So a prying tool. You can never have too many prying tools. Really useful, actually. And also a micro SD card reader. So that means you can take the memory card out, pop it into that, and then plug it straight into the USB of your computer and access it straight away. But here with the wiring, so this is the important bit because this is our piggyback loom, if you will. So what it does is it takes existing power feeds and then allows you to just steal some power from it. So what we'll have when I open this is we'll see a connection that is, if you can show you on there, that is connected to the mirror at the moment, and it will be a plug that goes in a socket like that. So what I'll do is I'll unplug it, and then I'll put that into the mirror, and then the power feed into that. So the mirror still gets power, but we'll have piggybacked and taken a little feed here, which then goes directly into the camera, and then it's got power. So as I said, there's no additional power cables for you to hide. It's super neat. So let's have a look in here as well. So you've got a backup power. So if you can't take feed from your rear view mirror, which we can in this, because I know it's an auto-dimming rear view mirror, you have a really long power cable, so you can hide this somewhere. And this actually connects to inside your port, your car, 90% of cars anyway, you'll have an OBD port, which will look like that. Kind of like an old SCART socket if you're old enough. And that you can feed in and take power from it. And again, it's exactly the same socket, and then you'd have to hide this cable. So this is a just-in-case cable, which we're not going to use. We are going to take a feed from in there. So right, let's start taking this apart and see how easy it is to get to our power cable. So the very first thing we're going to need is our prying tool, because we're going to have to take some of this apart to be able to access the bits that we need. So I'm going to start by popping the mirror just out of the way so I can see behind it a little bit. And you've got this plastic surround here. So I think we need to get this out of the way. So we just pop the pry tool around it and just pull it down. Should come apart. There we go. Honestly, never worry about taking cars apart. They're all designed to clip on and off. It's really, really easy. Now, I can immediately see from that piece that it's uncannily similar to that, if you look at the shape. So therefore, what I know is that this isn't going back on. This is going on in its place. So this will just slot on, and that's why you've got these clips underneath. Look, if you can see on there, that clip will then go into the guard here. It will just clip in, and then this will go exactly where it was, and that will be the camera. So it's super easy to install. The challenge I've got first is just to be able to get to the power cable, and I can see that it's already visible here. Now the question is, how much digging do I have to do to get access to it? So if I get this mirror down a little bit further, I imagine this mirror would probably come out without too much difficulty as well, but I'm going to resist the urge to do that. So, do I need to pop this off? Let's have a look underneath. There we go. That's easy enough to pop off, so which means it'll be easy enough to get back on. So this plastic bit at the top looks like it probably needs to slide off or clip off. Okay, so The stubborn bit is oh, there we go. You've got to pull it down. I get it now. There's a plastic bit that kind of goes behind the mirror. There we go. And that's what stops it from sliding off altogether. So there we go. Now you just got to pull that bit off and then make a note of how it goes back on. It literally just clips back in, look. So it's just slots into there. So that'll be easy enough to put back. So I can pop that out of the way and I can see now I've got access to my power cable, which is this one here. You can't really miss it. It's exactly the same color coding as the piece that we're going to be putting in. So if I unclip that, which it looks like it's a case of getting your fingers into that bit. If in doubt, use your pry tool. So if I push into there, it looks like that's where the clips are. There we go. So that comes out easy enough. So to reiterate, this is my power feed. This is the feed that's going to either the mirror or the sensors here, or probably both. But actually, this looks like it's the sensor power, so this is probably just the mirror. So what we're going to do with the loom is, as I said, we just plug this one in its place. So we'll put that in, and then we'll put this into this socket here. So immediately, we have power back to the mirror. So that's immediately back to full functionality just by popping that in. And then we'll just pop these cables out of the way, so it's just nice and neat and not intrusive. And then we've just got this single cable hanging down here, which is our power cable. So then we look at the mirror and said, sorry, the camera. And if I look back to how this goes together, so if you remember, this will replace that piece that I took off first. And you can see the spaces where it's going to go. So if I bear in mind that that piece was slotting in there, and that, yeah, so if you look at this vent bit across here, what I can do is if I line that up and then this bit at the top, so you've got these holes. So we're just gonna, and you've got these clips. So if I just pop that into there and clip it in, and you'll hear a click. Yep, yep. And then I can push at the bottom and get a click there as well. So now it's secure. Literally, it's clicked onto the grid here, if you can see. And so our camera unit is now part of that piece of plastic. And that's just going to slot straight back into the car without any issue. So then we're just got to make sure this power cable is right. So if I go back to the unit, when you look at this, by the way, you'll see a black plug and a white plug. And if you can see, I think it's focusing on me. There we go. The white plug is for testing. So it's a factory thing. Don't worry about it. You don't use it. It's just the black cable. So if I now clip that on, which I can see where the pins are. So that's it. It's clicked. It's on. In fact, it's immediately got power because I can see a red light on the camera, so that's working without any issue. And then again, it's just a case of making sure that you haven't got lots and lots of cables hanging around everywhere. So if I just kind of slot them neatly inside, so I am literally just folding them up, look, so it's nothing complicated. And then we'll slide this back over the top of the mirror, and then we've got to look as to how this clips on in the first place. In fact, before I put it on, let's do that. So if you look here, you've got these black plastic bits here. So you've got like a clip there, you can see there, and then you've got a clip down at the bottom, and then you just got to make sure you can line that up with what you can see on the car. And I can see that there are plastic clips that go exactly into those spaces, so you just got to bear in mind that you're just putting things back exactly as they were. Nothing complicated about that. So let me just slide this up behind the mirror, which is there, and then line up those bits of plastic, and I can feel it, so should be able to, there we go, as our second, and then our third and our fourth. So that's all our clicks in place. And that's it. It's back in place. The cable's in it. It's hidden, the wiring. Now, if you remember, there was that one piece of black plastic that needed to then slide back in, which was this. And if you remember, I checked that it was just these 4 clips. So it's dead easy. So I just need to slide that in to the gap behind the mirror, line those up, push them till they click. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a full installation. And that's it. How long did that take? This video is, what, 6 minutes long before I even edit it. And that's fully installed. And I can see there's power to it because the red light's on. So I now have a 4K dash cam pointing forward, recording all content. And crucially, if I just grab this camera here and show you what I can see, this is my view as a driver. And I'm looking forward, as you can see, there's my rear view. And it's just the tiniest little bit there that you can see. But beyond that, it's entirely unintrusive. You can access where the SD card goes, you can access the buttons, and now let's have a look at the app and the menu. So once the unit's installed, you need to install the Mercylion app on your phone. There is a link in the instructions, but it's dead easy to find on the App Store. And then the first thing you do is, of course, connect your camera. Now, the camera is straight into setup mode when you first connect power. So all I had to do was open the app, click on Add DVR, and then Wi-Fi link is an option there. You choose it, you connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're just looking for Mercylion, blah, 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 and you'll see it. Default code is in the book, so it's really easy to be able to key in the code. And then once you're connected, you can then click on Enter DVR down there, and that's it. That's it. I mean, that's literally it. That's the full installation. My camera is now recording. It has been for 1 minute and 45. If you want to go full screen, you can. It tells you the time, it tells you the date, so it's automatically connected to the settings from the phone, presumably, because I didn't tell it that. And you can go into the DVR settings here, so let's have a look what we can do. Loop record, so you can change how long each clip is before it overwrites, so it'll just record a series of 3 minutes. WDR, no idea actually. It's probably some sort of data recording. Anyway, record audio, so the camera itself would record me, so there's an accident, you have my audio going, what are you doing? That kind of thing. Time watermarking, definitely. Pit view, so picture in picture. Because of only one camera, I don't think that's going to be relevant. Volume, you can decide whether you want it to make any noise, so we'll put it as mid. And then video resolution, we'll go full HD, 30 frames a second. Why not? Actually, we'll go ultra HD at 25 frames a second. We'll leave it at that. G-sensor sensitivity is whether or not if there's a car has a bump and it can feel a bump, then it will save that clip so you can't overwrite it, which is handy if you have an accident. Parking guard, I'm guessing that's going to be if it takes a little bit of power and actually monitors the car while it's parked. I'll probably turn that off because I don't want to mess with the battery of the car. Movie time-lapse frame, parking time-lapse frame, and then obviously the Wi-Fi name and the password, which I would suggest that you change. SD card, I'm going to format it because it's brand new, and so therefore you don't want there to be anything kind of debris from the setup in there, so now you know it's recording from scratch. And that is it from the settings. Then you go to the DVR files, and then if you've got no recordings, and obviously I haven't because I've just connected it, but you would find the videos there. And you've got a picture folder as well. That's because there is a little button on the actual unit of a camera, so if you see something you think, gosh, I need to record that, press the camera button, it will take a photo straight away, and then you can access it directly on the app. And that's it. I mean, that's fully installed. You've seen me install the camera in literally minutes, and I opened the box just now without watching any videos about how to do it. It's just that obvious. And the app installation couldn't have been easier. Connecting couldn't have been easier. But now there's a peace of mind. When my son drives this car, he will be protected from some lunatic causing an accident and then telling everybody that it's his fault, because he'll have the evidence to show that that isn't the case, hopefully. But I can't recommend a dash cam enough. Honestly, I think every car should have one. And Mercylion, their inbuilt ones, I mean, in terms of the fact that I can take a feed from an existing power and not have to feed a cable down the sides, is such a gift. So if you're thinking about a dash cam for your car, go for an integrated one. It's neat, it's quick and easy, and it's completely unintrusive. Any good dash cam, you forget it's there. And this couldn't be easier because it's not even in my eye line. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about the Mercylion products, the link is in the description below. As said, I can't promote them enough. I think they're fantastic. If you've got any questions, please send them directly to them. I'll answer what I can, but to be fair, they're better placed in terms of making sure you're getting the right camera for your car. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in a future video.